Hello students. So this is the third video related to this chapter named globalization, and in the previous two videos we had covered the certain topics related to this chapter like what is globalization, how the MNC they are the products of globalization, how they are interlinking the market and doing the production across the country. So now we are moving to the last part and I hope we will cover this today. So let's begin. So the next topic that was foreign trade and integration of the market. So in this topic you are covering how these due to the globalization this foreign trade that is taking place which results in the integration of the markets. So when the foreign trades going on between these multinational companies, what happens? These companies of one particular country they trade in the another country. They are due to globalization. They are doing the production across the country, which resulting in the interlinking of the market. Interlinking of the market is in another way, that is the way of consumer, where the consumers who are living in no matter in which region they purchase the products which are produced in any part of the world. For example, we the Indian, we are purchasing all the products in all the segments from motor car to simple a ball pen. अब आप देखिए इतनी चॉइस है आपके पास, अगर आपको एक पेन परचेज करना है, इरेजर परचेज करनी है, आपको मोबाइल परचेज करना है, आपको कार परचेज करनी है, आपको गारमेंट्स लेने हैं, तो जरूरी नहीं है कि यू विल जस्ट परचेज दीज ऑल द प्रोडक्ट्स विच आर प्रोड्यूस्ड ओनली इन योर कंट्री. तो हम जो प्रोडक्ट्स परचेज कर रहे हैं वो दुनिया में कहीं भी प्रोड्यूस हो सकते हैं और हो सकता है कि उनकी कोई ब्रांच इंडिया में भी हो उस कंपनी की और वो यहीं पे प्रोडक्शन कर रही हो. तो इस तरीके से वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड ड्यू टू दिस फॉरेन ट्रेड they are interlinking the market not only for the producers but for consumers as well. Now we will cover the next part, that is what is globalization. We have already discussed it. Globalization is a process through which we interlink the market. The markets are interlinked through the process of globalization. Now the very next topic is factors that have enabled the globalization or various reasons which has speeded up the process of globalization. ऐसे कौन सी वजह हैं जिनकी वजह से ग्लोबलाइजेशन की ये प्रोसेस इतनी तेजी से पूरी दुनिया में हो रही है एंड द मार्केट्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड आर इंटरलिंक्ड. These factors are the role of technology, improvement in transportation sector, lower tariffs, multinational companies, easy to invest the capital in any part of the world, and so on and so forth. So we are going to cover the first one, that is technology. No doubt the improvement in technology has really speeded up the process of globalization for the last 50 to 100 years. We can take one example given in your book, that is the example of containers. So these containers through the shipping, through the railways, they are easily carrying the goods from one place to another without making any kind of harm. They keep these goods intact और जो ब्रोकेज की जो प्रॉब्लम है, जो टूट फूट की जो प्रॉब्लम है, वो दूर हो जाती है. सो दिस इज वन एग्जाम्पल हाउ टेक्नोलॉजी हैज प्लेड द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल in the process of globalization. This technology we can see in all the fields, whether transportation fields, whether the fields of innovations, whether the fields of communication. In every field the technology has boosted up this process of globalization. The next is improved communication. So now we know that we have a very strong communication links all around the world at global level. Not only we can make the calls, we can have the programs on our TVs which are made and broadcasted in any part of the world, and that improvement in communication has completely connected the world market. So this is the another example. You can give these points and explain how improvement in communication has speeded up the process of globalization, because now the traders, they interlink all the time with each other and help each other. So next topic is the improvement in transportation sector. So improvement in the field of transportation, that also help the foreign trade easily carrying to any part of the world. Now the time limit has been reduced due to the improvement in these transportation fields, particularly through the aeroplanes, and the second is by speeding up of the ships. And now the time has been reduced through which we can execute our order from one country to another. The next is free trade agreement. So many of the economic international institutions, they have signed the agreement. Many countries signed the mutual agreements through which they decided to reduce the import duties on the goods coming from the another countries, and this has really speeded up the process of globalization. And multinational companies, they always in a favor to reduce these taxes so that they can reach new markets and can dominate them. Last one is the improvement in IT sector. That is also part of the improvement in communication. You can make a separate point कि IT sector, information and technology, has really boosted up the speed of the globalization. Now one example has been given here. You can read it out. IT sector, that means now internet has really connected the world and converted into a small village. So this example, what it shows, a company that is set up in Delhi, in Chandni Chowk, that is doing the work of designing, and it is working, it is getting the outsourced work from a company, from a magazine which publish in London. तो लंदन की मैगजीन जो है, अगर उसको कोई डिज़ाइनिंग करवानी है अपनी मैगजीन के लिए कि उसकी मैगजीन का कवर कैसे दिखेगा, उसमें कलर कॉम्बिनेशन क्या होगा, किसी भी पर्टिकुलर आर्टिकल को सपोर्ट करने के लिए कौन कौन सी इमेजेस का इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा, तो ये सब डिज़ाइनिंग वर्क जो है दैट इज़ डन इन इंडिया. नाउ थिंक अबाउट दिस सिचुएशन कि एक मैगजीन है जो लंदन में पब्लिश हो रही है एंड द पीपल ऑफ इंग्लैंड, दे आर गोइंग टू रीड इट. उसका डिज़ाइनिंग वर्क जो है वो सारे का सारा वो काम कंप्लीट हो रहा है चांदनी चौक दिल्ली के अंदर. Why? Because many innovative people who have an aesthetic sense in India are there, and they are available at cheap rate as compared to the labor demands by the people in UK. Next factor that affects the process of globalization is the multinational companies. So these multinational companies, they always want the new market to capture and sell their items there, and due to their this efforts, the process of globalization in itself gets the speed. So we have covered different factors which really boost up the process of globalization one after the another. Now we are coming to a very important topic, that is liberalization. So India, when it got its freedom in 1947, had adopted a different kind of policy, and this policy was changed after almost 45 years in 1991, and we adopted a new policy, that was the policy of liberalization. So first thing first, you have to understand what is liberalization. So liberalization means liberal, that means freedom. Liberalization in economic sense mean opening up of the market. So when the trade barriers are removed by the government and market is free for trade, then it is called, this process is called liberalization. Now what happened to India? What was its initial policy after independence and why it was changed? That is the topic you have to understand. देखिए, जब भारत आज़ाद हुआ 1947 में, so we did not have industries. If we had industries, they were very small and they could not compete with the world industries. That's why we wanted a policy of protection. We wanted to give the protection to our industries. That is why we closed our market and we adopted a policy which was known as mixed economy. Mixed economy means both the public sector and the private sector will work together. That means many of the industries, they were directly under the control of the government, which is known as public sector, and generally the heavy industries. And the private individuals had also been given the chance to develop their industries, and to give them protection we closed our market. And how we closed our market? By putting the trade barriers, कि जो भी आएगा बाहर से माल तो उसके ऊपर हम टैक्स लगाएंगे. I still remember my childhood days in 1990s or in late 1980s. अगर हम कोई कलर टीवी की बात करते थे 1988-89 में ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ रामायणा, तो हमारे पास कलर टीवी की इतनी लिमिटेड चॉइस थी, एंड दीज लाइक टेक्सला, टेलीविस्टा काइंड्स ऑफ टीवीज वर देयर, और उनकी कीमत बहुत महंगी थी. तो मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल हैड द ब्लैक एंड वाइट टीवीज. और अगर हमें कोई ब्रांड लेना है, वीडियोकॉन लेना है या ओनिडा लेना है, तो दैट वॉज नॉट द इंडियन ब्रांड. और वो सब ब्रांड जो है अगर बाहर से आएंगे तो उनके ऊपर गवर्नमेंट इतना टैक्स लगाती थी कि सपोज उस वक्त अगर उसकी कीमत 20,000 थी तो उसके ऊपर 100% इम्पोर्ट ड्यूटी लगेगी. तो अगर आपके अंकल जो अमेरिका में रह रहे हैं और वो ओनिडा का टीवी लेकर आ रहे हैं, तो 20,000 का टीवी उनको वो वहां पड़ेगा और 20,000 का ही उनको टैक्स देना पड़ेगा गवर्नमेंट को. तो उस टीवी की कीमत ऑटोमेटिकली 40,000 हो जाएगी. और उसके कंपैरेटिवली जो इंडियन टीवीज थे जिनकी क्वालिटी इतनी अच्छी नहीं थी, उनको उनके बिकने के चांसेस अपने आप ही ब्राइट हो जाएंगे. सो दिस वाज द पॉलिसी ऑफ मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमी. बट we now decided to change this policy in 1990s. Why? Because of many reasons were there. The pressure of the world community was also there to open our market. Moreover, इंडियन गवर्नमेंट डिसाइडेड दैट कि नाउ इज द टाइम टू ओपन द मार्केट. क्योंकि अगर मार्केट ओपन करेंगे तो बहुत सी कंपनीज, मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज भारत में आएंगी, फिर वो फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट करेंगी, डॉलर्स में वो ज़मीन परचेज करेंगी, कंस्ट्रक्शन करवाएंगी, मशीन्स लगाएंगी, और अगर वो फैक्ट्री सेटअप करेंगी तो इंडियन लोगों को जॉब्स भी मिलेगा. तो इन सारी चीज़ों को ध्यान में रखते हुए इन 1990s we decided to open our market, and we decided to adopt the policy of liberalization. So removing all kinds of trade barriers is known liberalization. And the two personalities to whom we can give the credit to take this risk, it was a big political risk. क्योंकि जब गवर्नमेंट ने डिसाइड किया कि उनको मार्केट ओपन करनी है तो शुरू में बहुत विरोध हुआ. लोगों ने कहा कि जैसे एक कंपनी जब भारत में आई तो उसने हमें 300 साल गुलाम बनाकर रखा. दैट वाज इंग्लिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी. एंड नाउ दिस गवर्नमेंट इज गोइंग टू ओपन द मार्केट टू लूट ऑल द रिसोर्सेज ऑफ इंडिया. तो गवर्नमेंट का बहुत क्रिटिसिज्म हुआ, लेकिन ये जो दो पॉलिटिकल फिगर्स थे इन्होंने डिसाइड किया कि वो अब मार्केट को ओपन करेंगे. एंड दीज टू पर्सनैलिटीज वर मिस्टर पीवी नरसिम्हा राव, द प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ कांग्रेस पार्टी ऑफ दैट टाइम. बहुत अंडररेटेड हैं, जिनको मतलब हमें जितना जानना और रिस्पेक्ट देनी चाहिए उतनी उनको रिस्पेक्ट अपनी पार्टी से नहीं मिली. एंड द सेकेंड वन, ही अपॉइंटेड दिस गाय हु इज नोन एज Dr. Manmohan Singh. He was appointed as the finance minister in the cabinet of P.V. Narasimha Rao. And these two fellows adopted the policy of liberalization in India. और 1990s के बाद फिर इंडिया में सब कुछ बदल जाएगा. एंड आफ्टर 1991 Indian markets witnessed the arrival of all the big multinational corporations in India. They came to India, they set up their plants in India, invested heavily, and this foreign investment gave a boost to Indian market, Indian economy as well, because all these companies, they invested in dollars. So now we will see the impact of globalization on Indian market. What was the impact? We could find it quite easily. Like now we had seen all the big brands of the world came to India. So people had the choice to purchase these items. We could have also witnessed the coming of these foreign currency or foreign investment to India. And also we had seen it gave the chance to Indian companies as well to improve their qualities and start competing with the in the world market, and many of Indian companies as a result converted into the multinational corporations in the 1990s. Now we are moving to the next topic, that is World Trade Organization or WTO. So WTO was established on 1st of January 1995, and the purpose of setting up of this institution was the free flow of the international trade among the countries. So now 164 members are there of WTO with the purpose of international trade without particular regulation of the governments who are particularly the members of this WTO. But WTO on the other hand has been severely criticized by many of the people, and particularly many of underdeveloped and poor countries, and they blame that WTO is behaving like a puppet in the hands of developed countries and their multinational corporations, because MNCs always want the open market, liberal market, so that they can dominate those market of underdeveloped countries because of their superior quality. So that is why we have seen the protests against the WTO and its various policies. Now we will move to the next part, that is the positive and negative impacts of globalization. First, we will discuss the positive impacts or advantages of globalization on the Indian market as well as the general advantages. So, the first advantage of globalization to Indian market on general base is the due to globalization, the small scale industries, they get the boost. Second one is the employment generation. These multinational companies, they generate the employment. That means when these companies have been set up, then people get the employment there. Then the third one is improvement in the living standard. So when the MNCs will come, they will invest heavily. It will result in the improvement in the infrastructure of the country, as well as people get the jobs. This will also improve the living standard of the people. And then the next one is the variety of goods for consumers. So globalization has really benefited the consumers. Now they have the range of all the segments of the products. They can purchase the product of their choice, and that can be decided on the basis of the price as well as on the quality, on the basis of the quality as well. So these all are the advantages related to the globalization. Now the negative effects of globalization. There are many negative effects of globalization, particularly for underdeveloped and poor countries. Like exploitation of labor is there. Multinational companies, they exploit the resources of the host countries where they set up their plants. Then job insecurity is also there. So in your book, this has been given globalization harmful for small scale industries. So the small scale industries are not in a position to compete with the globalization because of their superior quality and because of their heavy capital backup, which the small scale companies or industries fail to compete with them due to the less capital resource or investment with them. The next one is the increasing environmental issues. What these multinational corporations do, they dump all their wastage in underdeveloped countries, because they know that the laws in those countries, in those poor countries, they are not as strict as in the developed countries. That's why they dump all their wastage, industrial wastage, to these countries where they set up their plants, and they over exploit their resources also, which is another environmental issue. Then the uncertainty of the job or employment is the another major issue related to this negativity of globalization. these MNCs, they come to invest in host countries with this condition that they would not accept any labor law. Like every government try to protect its workers by making the labor laws, but these companies come to the host countries with the condition that they will not follow these kinds of labor laws. And the next one is the destruction or wiping out of the small scale industries, because the small scale industries cannot compete with them. That's why they have to shut down their production plants. As a result, many of the people became unemployed who get the job there. And we have the finest example with us is the Indian toy industry, which was completely dominated and destroyed by the Chinese toys. Now you can go to any gift gallery for purchasing any gift, and you will find more than 95% of these gifts are coming from China. And even the wrappers which are used for packing to those gifts, they are even also coming from China. So we can see the negativity of globalization. And finally, we have reached to the last topic, that is fair globalization, fair trade. People, because of the all these kinds of negativity, and particularly the underdeveloped countries, they had raised this issue that they need a fair globalization. And the governments of these underdeveloped countries, they can play very important role for fair globalization. How they can do it? They can make a collaboration with the other underdeveloped countries to raise their voice in WTO. They can put the pressure on the MNCs to follow all the labor laws which have been decided between the government and MNCs. And these are the several kinds of actions that the government can take for a free and fair globalization in favor of the country. I hope you understood all the topics. Now is the time to say goodbye. Thank you for watching this video.